Okay, in this video, I'm going to go over some of the things from Chapter 6 homework. I was looking at, just graded those problems, and several of you didn't put functions or didn't put methods into each of those. So I'm going to go ahead and go through a couple of those just so you know what you should have done on those. Okay, so for example, the one that's a circle area, you can name it whatever the problem name was, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So this one, it wants, why it's taken to ask me that sometimes, not other times. Okay. Okay, so the main thing about these, I mean, these are pretty simple programs. So we can just calculate the area directly in the main, but that's not the point of the program. Okay. So if you look at, it's problem 620, we'll say modify the method to create an exercise 6.8 to, that's the wrong one. Which one am I doing? 20, that was wrong. Okay, write an application that prompts the user for the radius of circle, and then it uses an area or method called circle area, okay, to calculate the area of the circle. And I've named this wrong, so let me just kill that one altogether. Try it again. Okay, so we do a new class. I'm going to call this C6P20. And I do want public static void main. I'm going to put it in the 402 directory, or not the directory, but the container. Okay. So this one, again, it says specifically to have an area, a circle area function, right? A circle area method. Okay. So it means I'm going to have to create another method. Okay. So again, I can create it above or below. It's going to be a public, static. It's not going to be a void. Okay. This one's going to be return the area of a circle. So let's call it a double. Okay. Circle area. Okay. And it's going to take the radius. That's all it needs to take. Okay. Note, as soon as you do this, it's going to give you an error. The error being that it has to something. Oh, it has to be a double. That's what I wanted. Okay. It's also going to give me this warning here that I have to return a double at some point. Okay. So that was the other issue there. Okay. So you can start either place. We can start down here, and all this is going to do, it's going to take in the radius. Okay. They can just do a return r times math.py. Okay. That's all we have to do. That's all it's going to do. You could put 3.14, but the math.py, and again, capital P, capital I, because it's a constant. Okay. It's going to be the most accurate that it can be. Okay. Then it's a matter of, up in this program, all you have to do is ask the user, or for the radius, because it says right here, write an application that prompts the user for the radius of a circle, and then uses a method called circle area to calculate the area of the circle. Okay. So I'm going to have to include the scanner stuff. Okay. So up here, I have to import java.util.scanner. Okay. Down here, I have to create my scanner. I have to say scanner input is equal to new scanner system.in. Is all that right? Who knows? Hey, I may have actually remembered that. Okay. And then somewhere along the way, I'll have to do my input.close. Okay. So then all I have to do is print out the prompt. So a system.out.print saying enter the radius of a circle and the colon space just to make it nice on the user. Okay. And then I'm going to have a variable for that. So I have to go up here. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter, but it makes more sense to me to declare a variable here, have this double R, or double radius if you want, doesn't matter. Okay, so then I can say from here, radius is equal to input.get double, or next, I bet it's next double. Next double. Okay, so now we have that radius. I can then just do a system.out.print f, and I can say the area of the circle is %f for the double, and then for the arguments, it's going to be a call of that function sending the radius. Okay. And that should do it. That's all you need. So if we run it, okay, radius circle is 1, should give us 3.14159, which it does. Okay, and you can test it some more. And there's certainly some other things you can do. If this makes you uncomfortable, you could always just set up another up here. You could say radius area, and then we could say here that area is equal to circle area radius. Okay, and then we can just print out here instead. We just take that variable. You don't need to, but it's certainly not going to hurt anything if you do. Okay, that should do the same thing. Okay, so that's the point there. The point is this whole chapter is on methods. So the point there is that you want to be able to create a method. Okay. The other ones there were, let's see, there's the parking method one, which is 6.8. So for it, it just gives different times depending on how long they were there. Okay. So you enter the hours parked for each customer, then it should display the charge for each customer. Just use the method to calculate charges. So again, you should have a calculate charges for that one. Okay. Then there's one for the hypotenuse on 6.15. And that one, again, you don't just do the hypotenuse directly in the main program. You're going to create a method for that. Okay. And the last one here, 625 is the prime number one. I'll do that one as well. Okay, so it starts off here. At least we'll start this one off. So let me start a new one here. Let's do a file, new class. I'm going to call this one C6 P25. Okay, I want public static void main. Okay. So again, I know from the definition of the program, I'm going to need a function called is prime. Okay, so it's going to be a public static bool. It's going to return a true or false. Is prime. Okay, it's going to take some number in. Okay, so we can start here again as well. Okay, and for this, the main thing is we want to start, and the book talks about how far you have to go, but we can certainly go to every number. Okay, so I can do for int c equals, I don't need to try 1, but I need to try 2. For int c equal 2, c is less than n, or we could do n divided by 2, or even the square root of n. The problem talks about that. But n will certainly get it done. Okay, and then c plus plus. Okay, this is going to rotate through every value of c, but not including n. And at each point, I want to check to see if c is the value that's changing. So if n mod c is equal to 0, okay, at any point, if we evenly divide n by c, okay, I think I've got too many of these now. No, there's the wrong place. There we go. If n mod c is ever equal to 0, I know that it's not prime. So I can do a return false. Okay, this is a capital F. I always forget. No, that one's a small f. Yeah, return false. Okay. So if I make it, so the first time it hits that, it's going to return false and it's going to be done. Okay. But if I make it to line 18, okay, let's go ahead and put some comments here. This is going to end the if. This is going to end the for. This is going to end the is prime. and this is going to end the main. Oh, not main. Main's ended up there. It's going to end the class. The end main is right here. Yep, and we don't need this. Okay. So what doesn't it like? Bool cannot be resolved to a type. Isn't it bool in Java? Am I in the wrong language? Maybe I'm in the wrong language. Let's look at Appendix D, which is where that's supposed to be at, and we'll see what I'm doing wrong. There's B, there's E, it's got to be in there somewhere. Appendix D. Oh, Boolean. Okay, it's a whole word. Okay. Other languages, it's just bool. Okay. So what's it unhappy about now? I'm returning that there. Oh, so anyway, out of the 4, I can return true. Okay, now it's happy. Okay, so it's a public static Boolean, not bool. Sorry, wrong language. Is prime, it takes an end to end. So it's then going to count from C equals 2, because everything divides by 1, all the way up to 1 minus n. Okay, but which it won't have to go that far. And then if n mod c is equal to 0. So if I enter 4 to this function, it's going to go from 2 to 3. It's going to take 4 mod 2, which does equal 0. So it's going to return false. Okay. But if I would do a 5, it will start with 2. It will say 5 mod 2 is not equal to 0. 5 mod 3 is not equal to 0. 5 mod 4 is not equal to 0. Therefore, it returns true. Okay. So that's the method it wants you to create. And there are always options of how you can do it. That's how I would do it. Okay. And then we can test that out. And the problem asks you to do something different, it seems like. It wants you, determine and display all the prime numbers less than 10,000. And that's a different thing. And I'll leave that as an exercise for you. But to test this out, okay, I can just do some examples here. Okay, so I can say system.out, or no, that's not what I'm going to say. It returns a Boolean, so I'm going to say if is prime something we know is not prime, 66. Okay. I can do a system. There's too many of those. No, it's not. Do a system.out.println prime. Do an else. System.out.println not prime. Okay. Those both need semicolons at the end. Okay. And then I can copy the exact same thing again for something that is prime. Okay. So this one should say not prime. We'll do one with, say, 17. Okay. So again, that's ugly, but I want to test it. It should the first time it should say prime, not prime, then it should say prime. Let's see if we get that. We get not prime, we get prime. Okay, so it seems to be working. So again, for that the full version of that, you would basically have to go through a loop, right? So we're going to do a, inside of here, we're going to do, it says the numbers less than 10,000. Okay, so we're going to have to start for int c is equal to 2. C is less than, we can put in 10,000 here, but yeah, well, that should be okay. C++. Okay. And then we're going to go through basically and say if is prime C system.out.println C. And that should do it, right? I don't think I've done anything wrong. We'll see. Yep, a whole bunch of numbers. Okay. So that's all you needed to do there. You could make it prettier. You could do some more stuff with it and ask you some other questions to think about. But as far as the program itself, this is all there is to it. Okay. So hopefully this has been helpful going toward the exam, that if I ask you to create a method, you have to create this method 100%. And again, it doesn't matter if all this were up here instead. If your brain works better that way, go for it. Works exactly the same. Okay, no difference at all. That's not true in other languages, but it's true in C++. Okay. Okay, if you have other questions, make sure you let me know. Remember, Wednesday, which is tomorrow at 7, we'll have our review session.